Hey guys, what's going on? Ghost Dragon 1182 here, and welcome back for another episode of Coffee Talk. And there's been a couple topics I've been sitting on for a few days to make videos about, and this was one of them because I see it pop up a lot, and I've never been personally asked this in any of my videos or anything like that, but I see it on forums a lot for games where you can create your own characters, and I seen it recently on the Destiny forums, and there was a lot of I don't know. Whenever I see these topics come up on a forum post, it seems like the original poster has always got like a almost kind of an antagonistic attitude towards people when they ask this. And the question that I'm referring to is, why do you use female characters, or why do guys use female characters? And at the end of the day, who cares? How does it affect your play experience what kind of character somebody else uses? Unless you are judging whether or not that person is actually a woman for you to go hit on in game or something like that, and then you find out it's a dude playing as a female character in an MMO scenario. Now, more often than not, generally what you see is people are like, well, they just look better, which in the case of some games that is very true. At Destiny, for example, I think that the female hunters look more like a hunter than the male hunters do. The male hunters are kind of bulky. And when I think of a hunter in that game, I think of someone that's kind of lithe and quick, quick on their feet, and able to just kind of like blend and be kind of like athletic and just quick and I guess I don't want to say acrobatic, but I mean like with the blade dancers, they're kind of I guess you could say acrobatic in a way. And now that you got Shade Step with the Night Stalkers, the female versions of the hunters, they just kind of have that more what I imagine a hunter would look like. The males kind of look like they could be swapped out with Titans very easily, and I understand that's like the limitations of the engine and how Bungie programmed the character creation, but they just seem bulky. Um, in other instances, I've picked a character based solely on the performance of the voice actor or who the voice actor is. I got nothing against Troy Baker. I think Troy Baker's a wonderful voice actor, but when I play Saints Row 3 and 4, I pick a female boss with the female voice that Laura Bailey did because she fucking kills it in that game. And on top of that, it's a little bit different than playing as someone being voiced by Troy Baker for the umpteenth time. Or if I do use a male boss in Saints Row, I go with the English voice provided by Robin Atkin Downs because I think he's another phenomenal voice actor. But anyways, beyond that, I think personally for me it started in the early 90s playing Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or not it was Street Fighter 2. I forget what iteration it was. I think it was the first iteration that had the four bosses as playable characters. That might have been Super Street Fighter 2. I don't know, man. There were so many. But I liked Chun Li. She was fast, and I could kick most of my friends' asses with her. So moving on, my friends and I discovered Mortal Kombat, and I played the hell out of Scorpion and Sub-Zero in the first game. And then when the second game came out, I really got good and comfortable with Melina and Katana as my mains. And generally, like with fighting games, the thing I've noticed is the female characters in fighting games generally fit my playstyle more than male characters because they're fast. They're a little bit quicker. It seems like not. I mean, that's not always the case, but they just kind of suit the way I play a fighting game, which is I try to be quick and aggressive. And that's why in future iterations of Mortal Kombat, I always stuck with characters like Melina. I've basically mained in every game she's been in. Uh, in like Mortal Kombat X, I fell in love with Tanya when she came out. She's fucking awesome. Katana, not so much, but that kind of like those seeds were kind of planted back when I was younger, where I gravitated towards the female characters in fighting games a little bit more. Uh, as far as other games, uh, one Borderlands came out as probably like the catalyst for when I started using female protagonists heavily, because that whole opening scene there when they're on the bus and they're showing the characters, out of the four of them, hers looked like the most interesting action skill. So I used her for the majority of my playtime in the first Borderlands game. And at the time, I wasn't heavily involved in internet communities or looking stuff up on the internet, so I didn't actually have any idea that she was like the most overpowered character in the game at the time. But I mean, in that opening crawl or the opening scene, it was basically like Brick's the big dude that punches shit. Roland's your stereotypical soldier class type of character. Mordecai had a bird, which was cool, and she could phase in and out of reality. That just seemed awesome. And then with Borderlands 2, since Lilith was my favorite in the first game, I immediately wanted to see what the Siren was like in the second game, so I gravitated towards Maya. And Maya fit my playstyle well because I like crowd control. And Maya's very good at crowd control in Borderlands 2. And then, Gage came out. And my favorite characters in Borderlands 2 were Maya, Gage, and Zero, just because they were so different from like your typical shooter class type of character. Like Axton, to me, I didn't mind Axton, but he was just kind of like the next evolution in the soldier class. And the first time, ironically, even though I'm kind of more known for using female characters, the first time I played through the Mass Effect trilogy, I played as a male Commander Shepard. And then after 3 came out and I beat it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a trilogy run with a female Shepard just to see what it's like. And I absolutely fell in love with Jennifer Hale as Commander Shepard. And I subsequently went through the game like 2 more times as a male Shepard, and then basically every playthrough after that's been a female Shepard. But I mean, it's just most of my decisions when it comes to creating a character is what looks cool. Like in Diablo 3, same kind of thing with the demon hunter that I had issues with the regular hunters in Destiny, is that the female demon hunters, they just look cooler. They look more like what I imagine a demon hunter would look like. Um, and it boils down to, like, I've said this before in other videos, like, I don't project myself into like, when I played Mass Effect as a male Shepard, I didn't make it look like me. I mean, I think he had a goatee and shit like that, but I mean, I didn't make him look like me. And actually, I think one time I even went with the default face. But generally speaking, when I play games, I don't that the create a character games like those. I don't put myself in there. Like that's not me projecting myself onto the character. I don't look at it. And I actually seen this in a comment on one of these threads that I'm talking about that kind of spurred this whole conversation. Is that most people don't look at the character as themselves. Some people do look at the character as, look at this badass character I created, and that's how I look at it, especially with like Skyrim. Like none of my decisions to use a female character based in politics or anything like that, or based on like repressed sexual things or anything like that. I mean that's immediately what most people think when they see like a male using a female character. They're just like, oh, they're doing it because they're a dirty perv or something like that. Or when they're riding around on their Sparrow in Destiny, they want to see girl ass instead of dude ass and things like that. And no, I mean, I'm not saying there isn't people out there like that, but generally speaking, my whole train of thought is more often than not they look cooler. Uh, like there will be a picture popping up in here somewhere of my female boss confronting Killbane, and to me that's just fucking badass because she does not give a fuck. She's after this dude, and she's gonna stand up to him, and he just fucking towers over her, and she does not cower, and that's cool. It doesn't have, to me, it doesn't have the same impact if you had like your big bulky male boss in there or something like that, But I'm not. I don't know. Just I don't see why it's such a big deal to some people, or why people are worried about it. If you see somebody in Destiny running around with a female warlock or a female titan or something like that, who cares? How does it impact you? I mean, I personally don't get on games to like, it's not like a Match.com thing for me when I'm playing multiplayer games. Not like, hey, that female avatar is cute looking. I wonder what the chick controlling her looks like. Yeah, that to me kind of it comes across like that when I see some of these people posting these threads, like it's fucking up their, I don't know, like they think that they're like being duped or something. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't get it. Like, why does it bother people that that a guy would use a female character? And I mean, to me, I guess the argument could be made that there's it increases the diversity of the protagonists in games, but I mean that's too political, and there's no political motivations to why I picked a female Dragonborn for the Skyrim videos I've been uploading, or a female boss, or anything like that. Like I said, for me, it comes down to aesthetics and the voice actor, if there is a voiced character, and I just it's just never been something I put a whole lot of thought into, and I don't know why some of these people just, I don't know. Somebody explain it to me? Why it's an issue? I don't know. It's just something I can never wrap my head around, that why it's a big deal. Um, and this isn't really so much as like I guess a conversational video. It's more of me trying to understand why it bugs people, and explaining my reasons why I pick the characters that I do. I think now it's kind of become a like my thing when it comes to the videos I make, uh, using the female protagonists in games that give you a choice. It just kind of, I hate to say it's like my shtick, but it's like that thing that I guess now it's kind of come to be expected of me if I make a playthrough video series of a game where you can pick what kind of character you use. I think if I if I picked a male character, people would be like, "Whoa, that's weird." Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I get very attached to my characters too when I play games like this. Like I was really laboring over starting a warlock on my main Destiny account. I just couldn't bring myself to delete one of my huntresses, so I ended up making a second account. And it's something that I don't know. I don't get what the big deal is. Um, None of my friends have ever been like bothered by it. Now, it's funny. I remember some friends I played Borderlands 2 with on the PlayStation 3. We had one. He was like, "Oh, you use Maya?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, I can't use the bitch, man. I just can't do it. I can't use a girl." And we used to tease him so bad. But I mean, to each their own. I don't understand why. If you can't use them, that's fine. I don't hold anything against you. If you can't play as a chick, you can't play as a chick. Whatever. Uh, I guess I just never put that much thought into it. That's why I have a hard time like giving a reason why I play female characters in games like that. Other than that, when it's different characters, like with the Borderlands games, like I said, they had the more interesting action skills. Um, in a game like Saints Row, it was because of Laura Bailey voicing the character. Skyrim and Destiny and shit like that, it was just they looked cool, and it is what it is. I don't really see what the problem is and why people get so worked up about it. And it's funny because I've never had anybody like post a comment on any of my videos like, why you play as a chick or anything like that, or why are you using a girl, or are you a perv or anything like that. And I don't know, it's just something that I guess, at least with the group of people I play with or have interacted with, apparently it's not a big deal to them. So I don't know how much discussion can get brought up about this, but it is something that I'm generally like, I really want to know why people were concerned with that. It's just, it boggles my mind why it bothers people and what the big deal is. So, I mean, if you have an issue with male gamers using female characters, why? I actually really want to have a intelligent conversation about this, because I mean the stuff you usually see on forums doesn't, it devolves quite quickly into name calling and other stupid shit like that. But enlighten me, please. I would like to know why it's why it's a problem. And if you do, please go with more than just like it's weird or something like that. Like I don't want something like a comment like that. I mean, I can't respond to it's weird. It's or I just don't like it. I need more than that to go off of. So let me know in the comments below what you think. And like always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.